Now let's talk about spritzes. Um, it is due to the invention of carbonated water decades before people started spritzing that we're able to even talk about the spritz today. I would love to talk more about all that went into the inventing of carbonated water, but that unfortunately is a rabbit hole I don't have time to go down today. Uh, the word spritz does come from the German verb spritzen, meaning to spray. This is a reference to adding water to wine. What we know of today as northeastern Italy was in the late 18th century and early 19th century part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And the Austrians living in that part of Italy at that time would add water to the Italian wines to get a lower alcohol level, making it more reminiscent of the ales and lagers that they were accustomed to drinking in their home villages. Austrian soldiers, interestingly, popularized using the word spritz in the World War I era. And the most common way to splash water into wine, starting in the late 1800s, was the siphon. And a nice quote from Francois Monti, wonderful historian from Spain. The siphon was a basic element of all aromatized wine cultures. People were spritzing in France, Italy, and Spain from the late 19th century. The soda siphon first became famous in hotels, bars, later movies and TV. I myself first learned what a siphon was from movies and TV growing up. And then it became even a part of home entertaining by the mid 1900s. And now to talk about the modern spritz and variations thereof. The spritz has a broad and expansive history in service, far beyond that of one individual drink or one individual country. Spritzes truly reflect a regional perspective on the aperitif. You look at bitter aperitifs in northern Italy, and not just of the red variety. You look at white wine spritzes in England and Austria, Rojo Vermouth in the Barcelona area, and Chambéry Blanc in France. As Eric mentioned, the most popular vermouth style in France. So thinking of the spritz as more than an aperitif and club soda also opens up possibilities. Think about sparkling wine. You could do a Negroni Sbagliato with vermouth, bitter and sparkling wine. Thinking about lagers or ale. Oh, and here, this is that was a nice photo of our Coqui Rosa and soda. Very delightful. Looks like a nice place to be right now. The next slide, lovely photo of the Amer Frontier. So you got a 8-ounce lager with an 1.5 ounces of Bonal, reminiscent of the beer pecan in France. If you want to get into ciders, fall is the perfect time to do an aperitif, which is Bonal with apple cider. And then tonic. Examples, Dolan Genepi with tonic. Call that the après-ski. And the spritz that I encouraged you all to make a few minutes ago, if you made that with tonic, you would get what we have in our recipe database as the Chambéry tonic. So a lot of ways to look at the spritz. And I want to leave you with a quote from a wonderful book from a few years ago. The spritz's biggest secret is that it is really much more than a recipe or a category of drinks that calls for the mixing of Italian booze and wine. The spritz is a regional perspective on the aperitif.